Imagine waking up tomorrow and every single rule of modern society has simply vanished. No alarm clock screaming at 6:30 a.m. No traffic jams on your way to a job you only tolerate to pay for an apartment you barely spend time in. No cell phone buzzing with unread emails, no rent due at the end of the month, and no nagging anxiety about whether you are successful enough, attractive enough, or doing enough with your life. Instead, you open your eyes to a quiet forest. Your only goals for the day are incredibly simple. Find food, find water, and stay alive. To a modern human, this sounds like an extreme survival movie. But for almost every other living creature on Earth, this is just a Tuesday. This brings us to a question that philosophers, scientists, and frustrated workers have asked for thousands of years. Do animals live more freely than humans? We like to think of ourselves as the masters of the planet. We built cities, conquered diseases, and put footprints on the moon. Yet, millions of people feel completely trapped in their daily routines. Meanwhile, a wolf roaming the Siberian wilderness or a hawk soaring over a canyon seems to possess a total, unfiltered freedom. But is animal life truly free? Or are we romanticizing a world that is actually a brutal, unseen cage? To find the answer, we have to look closely at what freedom really means. Let's start with a story. Deep in the oceans, a pod of orcas is hunting. They move with incredible grace, communicating in a complex language of clicks and whistles. They aren't bound by property lines or human laws. If they want to swim 100 miles north today, they just do it. They don't need a passport, a ticket, or permission. They live entirely in the moment. Now, contrast that with your typical day. You wake up inside a literal box. You get into a smaller box on wheels to drive to a larger box where you sit in front of a glowing glass box for 8 hours. We have built a world of physical and societal boundaries. We are trapped by schedules, laws, and financial obligations. From a purely physical standpoint, animals seem to win the freedom debate hands down. They enjoy a profound connection to the natural world that we have largely severed. They don't have to sell their time to buy basic necessities. Food is growing on the trees or running across the plains. Water is in the river. Shelter is a cave or a nest. Nature provides everything, and it doesn't charge taxes. But science reveals a much harsher reality beneath this beautiful picture. The truth is, animals are bound by a different set of invisible chains, the brutal laws of nature and biology. An animal's life is governed by a relentless, non-negotiable script written by evolution. Take a small songbird. It might look free as it flies from branch to branch, singing its beautiful song. But scientifically, that bird is living in a state of constant, low-level terror. It must constantly watch the sky for hawks, the ground for cats, and the trees for snakes. It spends up to 90% of its waking hours desperately searching for enough calories just to survive the night. If it breaks a wing, there is no hospital. If it gets sick, there is no medicine. It faces starvation, predation, and extreme weather every single day. Animals are also prisoners of their own instincts. A squirrel doesn't choose to gather nuts in the autumn because it loves planning for the future. It does it because its brain is hardwired by millions of years of evolution to do so. It cannot decide to take a vacation or try a new diet. It has no say in the matter. This is where psychology and philosophy enter the conversation. The famous French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau once wrote that man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. He argued that primitive humans, living more like animals, were happier and freer because they weren't corrupted by the greed and competition of modern society. But another philosopher, Thomas Hobbes, had a completely opposite view. He argued that life in the wild, without human laws and society, is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. So, who was right? To understand, we have to look at the unique structure of the human mind. Humans possess a psychological trait that no other animal has, the ability to imagine things that do not exist. We can think about the past, plan for the distant future, and create complex mental worlds. An eagle has incredible vision. It can spot a mouse from a mile away. But an eagle cannot look at the horizon and wonder, What is the meaning of my life? Am I a good eagle? What will happen to the world when I am gone? Animals live in what psychologists call the immediate return environment. Their actions bring immediate results. They are hungry, they hunt, they eat. They are tired, they sleep. They live entirely in the absolute present. Humans, on the other hand, live in a delayed return environment. Most of the things you do today will not benefit you immediately. You study for an exam to get a degree years from now. You work a job to save for a retirement decades away. You go to the gym to see results months down the road. This ability to delay gratification is what allowed us to build civilization. It gave us science, art, and safety, but it came at a devastating psychological cost. Because our minds are always living in the future, we suffer from chronic stress, anxiety, and depression, conditions that are almost entirely non-existent in the wild. An animal experiences stress, but only in short, acute bursts. When a zebra is chased by a lion, its heart rate spikes, cortisol floods its body, and it runs for its life. If it escapes, within 10 minutes, its heart rate drops, and it goes right back to calmly eating grass. The zebra doesn't sit there traumatized, wondering if the lion will come back tomorrow, or if it should move to a safer neighborhood. But humans? We can sit on a comfortable couch, perfectly safe, and drive ourselves into a panic attack just by thinking about a conversation we have to face next week. Our minds have become our own personal cages, so let's look at the scales of freedom. On one side, we have the animal. Physically free to roam, free from bills, alarms, and societal expectations. But they are completely trapped by instinct, vulnerability, and the constant threat of a violent death. On the other side, we have the human. Physically restricted by society, trapped in a matrix of routines, and tormented by our own anxious thoughts. Yet, we possess a profound, beautiful freedom that no animal will ever know. The freedom of conscious choice. An animal cannot choose to change its destiny. A lion cannot decide to become a vegetarian. A penguin cannot decide to fly. They are locked into their biological roles. But you can decide tomorrow to learn a new language. You can choose to forgive someone who hurt you. You can choose to change your career, write a book, or dedicate your life to helping others. You have the freedom to define your own purpose. Nature does not dictate who you have to be. You do. We often look at animals and envy their freedom because we confuse comfort with freedom. We think being free means having no responsibilities, no pressure, and no rules, but true freedom isn't the absence of restriction. True freedom is the presence of possibility. The tragedy of modern human life isn't that we are trapped by society. It's that we voluntarily lock ourselves inside cages of our own making. We allow fear of judgment, the desire for status, and the pursuit of meaningless things to dictate our choices. We give up our unique human freedom just to conform. If there is a life lesson we can learn from the animals, it isn't that we should abandon our homes and run into the woods. It is that we need to reclaim a piece of their world within our own. We need to learn how to exist in the present moment, just like the wolf or the whale. We need to remember that beneath our clothes, our titles, and our bank accounts, we too are creatures of this earth. You don't need to destroy your life to be free. You just need to realize that the door to your cage has been unlocked the entire time. Freedom isn't a place in the wild. It is the conscious choice to step out of your mind, connect with the world around you, and live the life you actually want to live, right now.